If you're a trades business owner that is serious about taking your business to that next level, maybe you're on the tools, maybe you're not seeing the growth that you want, then you will not want to miss this video. Hello, this is Daniel Brown. I'm the owner of We Build Trades and the Trades Gang, and I'm really excited because today we're here, Origin GPH, a gas, plumbing and heating company up in Scotland, and I'm actually going to be doing the first ever podcast style interview with the owner of the company, the managing director, Stephen Dunn, where we discuss everything to do with his growth from being on the tools, being stuck, feeling like he didn't know how to move forward in his business, to after 2 years of having a different mindset, being in a different environment and taking his mindset to a different level. He's now surpassed the 7-figure mark. He's completely off the tools. He's got a fast growing team. We're in his office now, which is incredible. It's just all being refurbished. There's several vans out on the car park right now as I'm recording this video. So if you're a trades business owner, if you're a plumber, electrician, any type of trade business and you're serious about really taking it to that next level, then this interview is a must watch, and I'm sure you're going to get a ton of value. So let's dive in. So finally we get to have this conversation properly on camera. We've had many conversations like this before, but to actually record it and share the value that you can bring based on your experience, really excited. So thanks for doing this. First of all, if you could just introduce yourself and just let us know a bit about Origin GPH, what it is that you do, how long you've been established.
So my name's Stephen Dunn, company's Origin GPH. I'm the owner, managing director of the company.
How many years have you been in business?
I've been in business for just with Origin.
Well, you had the business before, didn't you? So how long have you been in business?
So I've been in business for a total of about 15, 16 years. Origin's been going since 2019, strength to strength. We've always tried to bring as much the knowledge that I've had throughout the years. You know, it's been condensed into the first 3 years of Origin being alive, basically, which has been considerably, we've came far, both myself and Chris, from the start. Had its challenges throughout the whole journey. It's been difficult, and we've put in a lot of hours and stuff. There's been a lot of sleepless nights for both myself and Chris. But yeah, it's been worth it, and it's going in the right direction, and it's a real exciting point of the business right now, leapfrogging forward.
Definitely. So you've been in business for a long time. What caused you to step away from the old business and start Origin back in 2019?
So the company that I had prior basically didn't function the way that I always wanted a business to function. Obviously with other personal reasons with the people that I worked with, we decided to step away from that. But it gave us the opportunity, both myself and Chris, obviously, from the start, it gave us an opportunity to build a business exactly how I seen fit. Had massive aspirations for it right from the get-go, and that can obviously be seen in every part of our business now. Like, we wanted to become fully digitalised, run engineer software, have full sales team and work like a finely oiled machine, which takes time and dedication and various other things, but you need to be willing to put in the hours, and we definitely have, and that hopefully that shows, obviously for the customer, but obviously for people that work here, they can obviously see how much time and effort we've put into it.
Well, I can attest to that. And it's funny because when we first had our conversation back in the start of 2020, you told me about the previous business and how you'd kind of learned a lot from that and wanted to take what you'd learned into this new one. And a big part of it was the digitalisation of it. So talk to me a bit about that. What was it that you wanted to do coming into Origin? So
basically, massive problem about not using software, obviously being in trades, is there's an enormity of information that's got to be filled out for each individual job. Not having software to store invoices and all that stuff can become very problematic. Also for growth, I mean, how can you control multiple engineers at multiple times in multiple areas without, getting bombarded over the phone consistently, constantly, all day? So, bringing in software and, digitalising the business where, you can utilise a lot of really great softwares out there where you're able to control the movements of multiple people with a click of a button. It obviously helps us to log jobs for certain times, where it gives the customer a better experience as well, because they get emails, updates of where the engineer is, when he's coming, what date he's going to be there, what time, if there's any changes, they're updated in real time. And afterwards there's obviously follow-up emails that can be sent out via our software, but the invoice comes out promptly, in a format that's very easy for the customer obviously to understand. And they're able to make payments obviously through the website, which is a massive thing for us. Obviously We Build Trades has been pivotal in all of this. A lot of the digitalisation of the company is actually came from the group chats and stuff that we've had, and that's where the idea, the basis of me actually making the decision to actually push forward with that was speaking to other like-minded people that obviously are your customers but have become my friends, and these guys were using this software and were able to scale businesses far easier. But I obviously took it with a pinch of salt initially, like thinking, well, will it work, will it not? But like anything else that I do, we steamed ahead, and obviously, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It dramatically transformed our business. Obviously pairing that with, a really high-end website that's got everything in it. Customers are able to, answer most of their questions just by going on our website, finding out details of what we do, where we stand and all that kind of stuff on certain things. But also from our digitalised software that we've got that controls the engineers, invoices can be sent out and subsequently they can go on our website and pay by card, which is a very, very fast and efficient way of, dealing with the invoice from the customer's perspective. But from our perspective as well, is we want to make it as easy as possible for the customer to be able to pay. So we've obviously got to have all this. We've got to have all this in place and all this infrastructure that obviously helps the customer and helps us. It's been crucial, and how far I've managed to get, or both myself and Chris have managed to get to now, is purely off the back of that. We would never have came as far, to where we are now, unless we had all this infrastructure, like the website, the engineer software. I couldn't control all these engineers and where they were and what jobs they were going to, because there's only so many hours in the day, and I can only talk to one person at one time. Yeah. But this way I can control multiple engineers at once, and the engineers don't even need to speak to me, so it's easier for them. They don't have to constantly be, where am I going now? What am I doing? Giving descriptions over the phone. They basically just go onto their app, look up, where they're going, what they're doing, any materials that are required, and everything's so fluent, they're able to just crack on through their jobs. Yeah.
So having the software in the business has made a difference internally to the operations, but also for customer convenience.
Oh, definitely. That part of our business, we feel as if we've really got to a T now. The scalability of the business has become far better now that everything's kept in order. The guys know what they're doing. It doesn't leave any space for assumption on the engineers' parts. They know exactly where they're going, what they're doing. It's just been phenomenal.
Takes any thinking away from it.
It's exactly it. They go out there and they do their job. They don't have to think about anything else over and above that, which obviously gives the engineers the ability to focus in on what they're doing, rather than where they're going or making any assumptions of anything about the job. That they're able just to, every bit of descriptive stuff about the business is all on their software. So instead of having, after every single engineer finishes the job that they're doing, they don't have to phone and speak to somebody like myself or Chris, where am I going now, and we have to look up what's next. We can schedule their days months in advance. When they wake up in the morning, their full list of jobs is there, and they work through them, and they have to shut each job down individually. Yeah. And they can't move on to the next job until they shut down the previous job. So it gives us insight of how long it takes the engineer to get the job complete, what materials they're using. All of this can all be quantified and obviously give us the ability to give a more accurate costing, which means that it's beneficial from both parties, that you've not got somebody that's guesstimating how much they're charging all the time. So some customers could be getting charged way over the cost that they actually should be. But then in the flip side of that for us, we're not undercutting ourselves.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, a business needs to function and we need to be profitable to push forward and function and give the customers a better, response from us and whatnot. And we've got infrastructure and stuff to be supported. And obviously that's, allows us to rest easy, knowing that we are definitely profitable all the time, rather than, just we're hoping with fingers crossed that we are profitable at the end of the quarter. It's not like that. So
well, you're making your decisions based on the data rather than just being guided by what someone's trying to sell you or just guessing at what's working. Before we go into actually Origin and kind of what you do and where you're at right now, it's interesting because we've worked together for a while, and ever since our first conversation, I'll always remember that you was the client who asked me what books I'd read and whatnot. And for you to have experienced the growth that you've saw, getting to where you're at now, pushing like the 7-figure mark and going from where you were to this transformation, mindset has obviously played a massive part in that. Even you wanting to look into software, being willing to trial things, being willing to fail, to learn and grow. Talk to me a bit about how your mindset and what's helped you in that regard to start the business and get it to where it's at now.
So the book thing was obviously, it intrigued me. Anybody who's entrepreneurs all over the world often say about, you know, certain books that they've read, or, you know, every entrepreneur seems to focus on books and learning and trying new things, and felt as if I was stuck in a rut for a long time. And, you know, you're looking for ways to change mindset. And obviously, you know, coming on board with yourselves and seeing that all the other guys were all reading books and stuff, it's like, right, things have to change. I need to start doing something different. You know, if I don't do anything different, nothing will change. So, read the Rich Dad, Poor Dad for the first time, and it was just totally just like, I need more of this. Read the E-Myth as well, and various other books. But, you know, as for mindset, like, it totally transforms the way that you look at your business. The way that you start acting within the business. The things that I found important before were no longer the most important things. You know, you start to think outside the box. You start to, think outside my own box, you know, making different changes. And obviously, you know, everyone else that was involved with yourself, you even see the growth within your company. And, you know, you attribute that to a lot of books that you've read, and it's so true. Not saying that they're a guide of how you should run your business, but they definitely have some golden nuggets in there. Just about mindset, like, it's been pivotal. Like, in a lot of the decisions I've made, I focus on infrastructure in the business and the mechanics of it. Like, trying, you know, set up systems, put systems in place to make my life easier. Where I thought that, you know, plumbing and heating businesses focused upon, or purely on engineers and putting the things together, like, you know, fittings and all that, and, you know, making them look pretty. But that's such a small percentage of the business. Like, obviously those things have got to be good. Like, there's no doubt the end product has got to be immaculate. It's got to be very professional, and for the user or the customer, they obviously do look at that. But the inner workings of the business is about systems, creating systems and things that can work on its own accord, because it frees you up to then focus on things that really need the work. Customer service and all that kind of stuff is big as well. But yeah.
Well, one of the big things from the E-Myth is working on the business, not in the business, and that's exactly what you've just said. And this kind of environment that you've been in with the WhatsApp group, learning from others and like reading books, it's clear to see how that's transformed to a point where, and just correct me if I'm wrong, but you'd been in business for 14 years and I think you got to 250,000 in revenue. And then from 2020, we started having conversations. You were stuck in a rut. You've opened your mind up to these new things. And then we did an interview, funnily enough, this time last year, October 2021. And you'd done 800,000 for the year revenue. So 14 years to get to 250. And then 18 months with this new mindset, you go up to 800,000. That's insane.
That is crazy.
And what has the last year looked like? Because that was a year ago. So again, just before we get into the nuts and bolts of Origin and what you do, like, what's this past year look like since the last time we spoke?
This year's been incredible. The growth of the company and, you know, various other directions that we've went in, i.e. concentrating a lot about sales. A lot of the infrastructure that's involved in sales has been, I just don't know why I've not been doing it all these years. You know, focusing on a business where word of mouth and all that's great, but there's only so far that can take you. The projections for this year are far greater than what they were last year. You know, been hitting targets, smashing targets out the park. It's going to be a really blinder a year. We have invested a lot more money into the business, obviously, but, you know, the quarterly, half years and all that are looking very promising. And the figures that we're churning out are exceptional.
Have you got a ballpark for where you're going to be at?
We're going to be 7 figures this year. You know, I don't know how far by it, but it's going to be roughly about there.
Congratulations, you deserve it. The hard work that I've saw you put in to the business, you definitely deserve it. So, in terms of Origin, what does Origin do?
Origin produce exceptional plumbing, heating and gas work. We give exceptional customer service. We've obviously implemented customer service team and sales in place, which has driven the business forward. But, you know, the general idea is, you know, we just want to give a really exceptional experience to our customers, fit exceptional products. You know, our prices might not be the cheapest around, but we are very focused on giving quality of workmanship. It obviously comes at a premium. You know, the customers are never left high and dry. You know, they're given follow-up emails, follow-up calls 7 days later to make sure that the products have been installed to their liking. You know, and if not, then we want to know about it. We want to know the good and the bad, allow us to make adjustments to our company to move forward. We'll always put right whatever is wrong. All of this does come at a premium, and we're definitely not the cheapest around. We're not the most expensive either. We do try and keep our prices as within the ballpark or the peripherals, but you know, you definitely get what you pay for, and that does come as, you know, the end product, but everything that surrounds it. You know, the customer service, they're always being greeted by a friendly face. You know, you can come to our office, you can speak to us at any time. You know, our phone lines are on 24 hours a day, you know, 7 days a week. We're here to help, and that's what we offer. You know, we've got depth to our company. We're not just driving about, you know, with a couple of vans and, you know, the odd guy answering the phone. You know, we have depth to our company. You know, we're at a fixed abode. You know, we're not going anywhere. We're willing, and, you know, it's so much more than a passion now to be producing, you know, great work, but also happy customers. It's a lifestyle choice for me.
And I like that word depth that you use, because again, in a business you need to make profit and you want to make your customers happy. You've got 24/7 support, you've invested in all these systems and softwares, you've got an incredible website that allows customers to pay online, you've got an office like you said, so all of these things obviously come at a cost, and you're not always going to get it right all the time, but for a customer to know that when you do get it wrong, if you get it wrong, you've got the team, the infrastructure to be able to deal with that, then I'm guessing from a customer's point of view, is that what they like about you? Is that what they love about you?
Our 5-star reviews do always point towards that. You know, the general experience, the customer experience they've had from, you know, coming onto our quoting system, the seamless process that they go through, obviously to getting a quote, to the follow-up calls, to the job being booked in. You know, the emails being sent out to confirm time and date and who's going to be attending. You know, then the happy face turns up at the door with, you know, in full uniform with a sign written van. You know, one of our engineers or even myself will speak the customers through their options based on what they see. And, you know, afterwards is the follow up. How was your experience? You know, is there anything else we can help you with? Now, we don't win every quote. We would love to win every quote, but, you know, we always like to feel as if we've gave the customer, whether we win it or whether we lose it, we've gave them the same experience throughout, where they've left us either the website or, you know, by email or by phone call, we've left on a high. You know, so you know, customer experience is very important to us. You know, and that whole process, it didn't just come about on accident. You know, we've worked hard to get to that point where that is what we give as a company. You know, Brogan puts in a lot of work, you know, and I probably give her more than I should. Obviously, you know, like, you know, phoning customers and addressing anything, you know, any jobs that we've been to. She needs to phone and address how we've actually, or how their experience with us has been, and we want to talk about it and, you know, learn from it and grow. And, you know, so yeah, the customer experience is massive for us, and the seamless process we've got from start to end is taking a lot of dedication, a lot of work, and a lot of thought processes went into it.
And what would you say is the main services? I know we've got the plumbing, heating and gas. What's the main thing that you focus on at the moment?
Obviously, because of the time of year it is, it's obviously big on servicing, gas, boiler installations, full service, full conversions, and full heating system installations. It's obviously massively important in this time of year. Obviously, we've been in Glasgow and in Scotland, it's cold here a lot of the time. So, you know, it's massively important, and a lot of our focus does turn to that type of work at this time of year. You know, people need their heating, they need hot water, and also because you know, gas prices going through the roof, it's obviously really important that people keep their boilers up to date. You know, they're serviced. If they can't afford a new boiler, they keep it as efficient as they possibly can, and that's purely down to servicing. You know, you need to have the boiler serviced properly, registered engineer. Obviously, we offer all of that, you know, and you have the full backing of the full company to obviously get your product, the appliance that you've got in your property, up to scratch. We don't necessarily want to just see you as one job. You know, if we do the boiler, we want to come back and service it every year. You know, that's the way we work. We want to keep you as a client forever. You know, we're not just in and, you know, get the boiler in and get back out and never see you again. You know, we want to give you an exceptional experience where you just keep coming back again and again.
So talk to me about that experience. So someone gets in touch with Origin, whether they've heard of you from the website, your social media, Google. What are the problems that people are typically having when they first get in touch with you?
It is very seasonal again. Obviously, currently, boiler breakdowns happen, you know, throughout the day, constantly called throughout the day. Obviously, people going onto our website, we have, you know, a lot of descriptive stuff on the website, obviously about boiler breakdowns, etc. So we do get messages through the website, you know, on live chat or, you know, just emails through the website to take a call. When we do call them, boiler breakdowns is a big one. Servicing is also a big one because of gas prices and the scare tactics that, you know, that's going around with like the national press. You know, people are looking for the boilers to be serviced all the time, basically. You know, we go out to these jobs and we find out an 18-year-old boiler that's been serviced twice through its full lifespan. And because it's very inefficient and it's costing a fortune to run, that service turns into a new boiler. You know, once you speak to the customer, you see what their needs are, you know, their appliance. You realise the appliance doesn't need a service, it needs to be replaced. People live with boiler problems, you know, for years on end, you know, constantly topping it up or the boiler not firing up. You know, they'll run their hot tap, they turn it off and the boiler doesn't fire up again after they turn it on. All of these issues that people start to just live with, they think that that's just the way their product, you know, the appliance functions. Until we come into service and we can pinpoint various different aspects of the boiler that don't function right. These tend to be the people that tend to be the happiest with after we've fitted the product. They tend to be the happiest because they've never had anybody in to actually go through the product with them. Yeah. Once we go and we give them obviously our in-depth knowledge on the product and, you know, we give them the options of what they've actually got, and obviously because we offer finance as well, you know, people don't have to stump up the money right away. They can go through various different channels with us. Well, you know, they can pay it up, which obviously brings boiler changes to the masses.
So some of the things that I've noticed is what makes Origin different to other companies that I've saw. You've obviously got the quoting tool on the website where people can go, they can get a free quote online without ever having to speak to someone. They can then buy the boiler online through finance or they can pay up front. And then you've also got the aftercare service where when you go out, you give people the advice. They can jump onto one of your Comfort Club plans and then they can have the peace of mind of knowing that the boiler is going to be taken care of. So do you have a lot of people go through that process of getting the quote and then buying online and jumping onto the Comfort Club?
Yeah, I mean, ever since starting with We Build Trades, that has just been on the up from the get-go.
I think you was actually our first client we set up the online system for.
The thing, you know, we see massive a leap forward with the amount of customers that come through the quoting system. Obviously we run ads consistently. We ran them through the full summertime. That was a big trial period for us. Obviously we done exceptionally well.
How important was that, running the ads through the summertime?
That was it was a gamble, but it was a calculated gamble for us because we had the idea of running the ads consistently and, you know, embedding in people's minds where they can, you know, they see us all the time. They're on their phones, they see us, you know, they're on we're on Google, they're on our website, they see our vans locally.
So would you say it's like a balancing act with having ads on and having the infrastructure to be able to support that?
Yeah, definitely. As a balancing act. The amount of people that come through the quoting system currently, we're hard pushed to get through every single one of them just now. So obviously we have aspirations to obviously employ more sales staff so that we can obviously accommodate more people through the quoting system. Obviously running it in the summertime was a massive gamble for us, calculated gamble. You know, it had to happen because we had to know to what extent people would be coming through the quoting system in the warmest months of the year. So it allowed us the ability to, you know, project how much income we can actually take in the warmest months of the year, and we can base our business round about that. Like for growth, you know, if we know we can take on another 3 or 4 engineers, another couple of sales staff, you know, and still comfortably be able to run in the warmest months of the year, it's a massive sign for us that, you know, growth's in order. But it also gives us a ceiling where we know that, you know, we're best not currently to overstep. I'm all for going out my comfort zones and you know, pushing the boundaries. But, you know, getting this kind of data, you know, from people come through the quoting systems and what we can do via ads in the warmest months of the year. It gives us, real determination, but also makes us aware that we're not making complete and utter wrong choices. Bringing on far too many men, too much infrastructure, with the workload not being able to be there. If we can base the business on the quietest months, it means that we're here to stay. I'm not looking to build a business for a few years. I want to still be here in 20 years' time, the biggest business in the UK, for the best business, the biggest and best business, most well run, with all the best engineers working with us and office staff, sales staff. We want to build a business that's here to last. What I always wanted was a company where people can have a smile on their face coming to work. I want there to be a good atmosphere. I spent a long time in previous business not being happy. And I think it's really important to be able to come to your work and have a spring in your step, and that shows. Customers can sense that stuff. Speaking to people, customer service, and the guys that are going to be out. It's building the business big, but everybody needs to be happy, and that's what we're all about.
Brilliant. And in terms of that setup, building like the infrastructure to be able to get the customers in, to be able to recruit the good talent. How big of a challenge has that been, getting all of that right and getting to where you are now?
That's a massive challenge. Recruitment takes time. You don't, very, very rarely do you interview people. You get a whole load of people to come into the office, interview people, and they turn out to be exceptional. These people are found when you least expect it. These people are stumbled upon, one day when you're in a plumber's merchants, you start to talk to someone. These people are, exceptional tradesmen, don't tend to move around too often. Companies can sense the value in them, so they hang on to them for dear life. So I realised that, and growth is a slow and steady process for me. The sales team as well and customer service people is slightly out with my expertise, but I've got the gift of the gab, and I like to think that sitting down with people and the vibe that they give off, and they don't have to be massively sales driven initially, they just have to have that spark, and that's very hard to find. So building the business is a slow and steady process, but myself and Chris have sat down many nights and spoke about growth and what direction to go in and the type of people that we want to work within the business. And it's a work in progress, but we will get there. We will find these people, they are out there, and it's massively important that we do find them. Hence the reason why I speak to absolutely everyone. Yeah. And it's the same with Chris as well. He speaks to everyone we possibly can, and we mull over people, and we want to get them on board, and sometimes they don't want to go initially, but we'll keep in there.
Well, it goes back to what you said earlier about like working on the business or in it. You could have been the best plumber or heating engineer, but that doesn't mean you can run the best plumbing or heating business, because you only have 24 hours in a day. Yeah. So when you reach that threshold of wanting to actually grow a business, recruitment and finding good talent is essential. Yeah. And in the gas industry, finding someone who's qualified and someone who's got the right attitude at the same time is a struggle. Yeah. So from one thing that I've learned from you, Stephen, and Chris and Origin, as you've grown, is that the importance of marketing for customers isn't just marketing for customers. You've got to bring the customers in to give you the cash flow in the business to be able to grow and build this infrastructure. And then by you having that infrastructure, it makes you attractive to potential employees who could come and work for you. Because again, how are you finding that you're getting that talent and keeping the talent now within Origin? Yeah,
so we've obviously got to keep our eye on all the other businesses in the local area, and what they're offering and what other benefits they've got within the business. We've got to be, you're not going to get the best talent by offering the least amount of wages, but from our point of view it is a trial and error thing. We are willing to pay the money for the right candidates. Yeah. Probably, fortunately, I'm able to take myself away from being the technician within the business and start to think it like a CEO and working on the business rather than in it. However, it does come in very, very handy because I can spot talent. You know, I'm able to spot talent within people or other heating engineers because I also do it and have done it for so long. So, you know, there's definite benefits from being an engineer and you know, within the business, whereas, you know, maybe a business owner, just a really good businessman, could come in and maybe start up a business, be in the plumbing and heating industry. But the benefit to, you know, the position that I'm in, the kind of mindset that I've got, gives me the ability to see into both directions. You know, I can spot talent from a mile away. You know, I can tell if somebody is really good at what they do just by the way that they deal with the jobs in general, which isn't very visible to somebody that hasn't been an engineer prior. But it also gives me insight, like, for end product for the customer. You know, I'm able to cast my eye over work that's been carried out by Origin and see problems, or the problematic parts of it, and be able to put the customer's mind at rest because I have a background in the industry that's so extensive. You know, so I feel as if both myself and Chris are in exceptionally strong positions. The fact that we're able to talk our way, or be able to talk our own minds out of being the technicians within the businesses, you know, and basically start to work, you know, on the business and the inner workings of it, and, you know, keeping everyone happy and the end product for the customer, and, you know, how seamless their process is. Yeah. You know, these are all things that technicians within businesses do not see. It's too hard for them to see it because they only look at the work that's got to be done. And the work that's got to be done obviously brings cash flow, but there's better and easier ways, the more simplified ways to get the job done with better end products. The more seamless the product is, you know, the more seamless the job is carried out, and the more seamless the customer's journey is, the happier the customer. You know, technicians can't see that. They just want to get in there and get the job done, and I have the benefit of being able to look at it from both angles.
Well, I've spoken to thousands of business owners over the past few years, and one of their biggest goals is always to get off the tools. So going from being on the tools and being that technician to now being completely off the tools, having a 7-figure business, what was that transition like, and how does it feel now that you've been able to accomplish that goal?
Scary, massively scary, not quite knowing in which direction it was going to go. Like, so it's very difficult to take your foot off the gas, go in a completely different direction from what I've always known. You know, to turn up, get in the van with my tools, go out, carry out work, push jobs on. You know, I always found that I was very good at that, and kind of prided myself my whole life in being able to do that. But, like, you know, the transition has been scary, exhilarating, tiring. I think both myself and Chris have went through every single emotion known to man. But, you know, like, you know, the figures that, you know, we're able to churn out, and, you know, the targets that we're hitting, it's mind-blowing. Like, you know, it's changing mindsets, you know, and the scariness of all of that, and, you know, the unknown. There's, like, I'm willing to learn and continue to learn. So, you know, that's obviously been a big part in me coming off the tools, moving forward with the business, concentrating in sales and, you know, infrastructure. And hitting targets, you know, monetary figure targets is great. It's exceptionally good, and we're exhilarated, like, you know, throw a big party or something. But it's, you know, I just feel as if my work here is not even nearly done. So, like, these targets are just tumbling away, and, you know, we're creating new targets all the time, and they're tumbling away, and it's just target orientated. But because they're coming thick and fast, you know, we just feel as if we're pushing on so quickly that you've not really got time to stand back and admire what you've done. It's like, right, what's the next one? What's the next target? What's the next target? Where are we going now? What direction? Bringing all the, you know, any bad things within the business, how do we make them good? How do we turn them around? How do we make them more seamless? What is the customer's experience with that? How can that be changed? You know, like, it's constantly evolving and, you know, progressing and getting better. Makes me a better person. Great mindset, and obviously, you know, the support of, you know, Chris and my wife and my kids. It's been crazy. The past two, 3 years has been by far the most exceptional years of my life. You know, I wouldn't change them for the world, but it just makes me think, like, wow, what's ahead of me?
And what do you think is ahead of you? What's the plans for Origin moving forward?
We'll never stop growing. We'll never stop moving forward. We'll never stop learning, adapting the business, you know, making it more seamless, better for the customers, more value for money, just constantly moving forward. aspirations have been the biggest plumbing and heating company in the UK would be a start. Maybe become the Uber of the plumbing industry.
It's got a ring to it.
Definitely, why not? I mean, the world's our oyster and we're more than charged up and ready to go. That's the kind of mindset that we've got. Nothing's too big for us. We'll be there.
Very exciting. And just going back to the recruitment side, you're putting all this effort into building this infrastructure, recruiting the right people, and ultimately it's to make sure your customers have the best experience. So if you were speaking to a customer now, why would a customer choose Origin over another company?
We're a very honest, down-to-earth company. Because we are a local company, we do look after people. You won't get some random call centre that's in a totally opposite part of the country. You're going to get local people talking to other local customers. We care about the area that we live in, and we care about the people that live here. We have exceptional engineers that work for us. We are always open to other exceptional engineers to come and work for us. Customers need to know that the experience they'll have with Origin will be unlike any other company or any other plumbing company that they've ever had experience with. You phone our call centre that's situated up the stairs locally, speaking to local girls, who are always willing to help you. The engineers are conscientious and polite, and they come with vans fully stocked, full of stuff. It's a great move for customers, especially local Glasgow-based people, to contact us, and even further afield, they'll still get the same service as what anyone from Glasgow would get. We do a good job. We work hard to do a good job. We have infrastructure to deal with the customer. If they feel as if the job isn't up to their standard, there is a process that we run through after that to make sure that the end product is always going to be a great one. They're going to be happy with what's been done, and we will bend over backwards to make that so.
So what would be the best way for a customer who has a plumbing, gas or heating issue to get in touch with Origin?
So we're very visible, on Google, our website. You can contact us through our website, email. We're everywhere. 0141 432 0010 will take you to one of the phones in here. You can contact us anyway, text, WhatsApp, through the website, email, phone call. If there's a way to contact someone, you can contact us through that.
And same question for the engineer side. So we spoke about why a customer should choose Origin. If there was a potential engineer out there that's considering their options, what benefits would they have coming to work for Origin?
We're a very professional outfit. The exceptional engineers out there will probably be working for an exceptional company at the moment. What makes us different? We're different because everyone that comes to their work here at Origin is happy. We are very well organised. We have a well-stocked unit that's obviously, you'll never be without any plant materials. From the minute you wake up in the morning, all your jobs are all there for you. You don't have to have any correspondence with anyone else, or you can do. We're always happy to speak to everybody, but you can wake up, you do your jobs, you go home at night. Business hours are between 8 and half 4. There's the opportunity all the time for overtime if you want to. Weekend work, you can do that as well. With notice, we can have that. You can work as many hours as you want, or you can do just contract hours. You're never hard pushed. What we do expect is an absolute exceptional workmanship all the time. If that's, if someone's out there and that's you, then we definitely want to speak to you. We have competitive hourly rates, as I said, overtime. So realistically, you're not limited. You won't get bored. We do a massive work all over the length and breadth of Glasgow, and it's good work. It's good, solid work. So I think it's what makes us any different from probably the company that they're working for just now is that the other engineers that you'll also work with are also exceptional. You may feel like you're exceptional and you come and work with us, maybe you'll learn a thing or two, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll learn the other guys maybe a thing or two, but we want to speak to you, and that's why we want to speak to you. We're a close group. There's no us and them. We are a team. Everybody's a team. You have the backing of the customer service people. If you're not going to make a job or you're running late, they'll cushion the blow with the customer. They'll phone ahead, make sure that the customer's aware of where you are, what you're going to be doing, because you've spent time making sure other customers' jobs are perfect and you don't make the last ones. Well, that's our team will deal with that as well, and it'll be rescheduled in for a different date. Each customer normally understands that because they want us to spend as much time as possible on their jobs. So when we tell them the engineer won't manage to make it just now, due to him spending more time on other jobs. You know, he will spend that amount of time on your job. They tend to accept that. But from an engineer's point of view, it's good to have that backing. You don't have to have any phone conversations with any of the customers. All the information and details is all on all your software. You know, purchase orders from any of the local merchants. You're never without stock or you've been able to get the job completed. We are an exceptional company to work with. We offer very competitive hourly rates. If you're exceptional, we want you.
Brilliant. And I remember, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we first started speaking, there was 3 of you in the team, you, Chris and Alison.
Yep.
What does the team look like now after 2 years of...
So there's 10 of us now in the team in total. Obviously we have a lot of room for more. Sales and customer service people are wanted, you know, immediately. Engineers, again, wanted immediately. You know, the team will grow as big as it has to. The better workmanship that we carry out, the more work we get, you know, the bigger we'll grow. We're not excited to grow sharply and have millions of people right away. You know, steady growth is because we're here to stay, basically. But yeah.
Brilliant. And I just want to ask about our relationship and just because we've been working with each other now for going on 3 years, and I can stand by everything with what you've just said. Like, I've been out and I've literally spoke to your customers. I've saw the growth, I've saw how passionate you and Chris and the team are and how willing you are to go above and beyond to make all your customers happy. And it's been a pleasure watching your growth and just seeing how far you've come, and it's probably even more exciting to see where you're going, especially when you say you want to be the biggest plumbing and heating company. Like, that makes me excited. So what has your experience been since working with us, and how have We Build Trades helped you on that journey?
Yeah, it's been exceptional. It's been amazing. First class. Obviously, Dan, your business was in much of the same kind of size, and we seem to have been doing the same things at the same time, and you've seen exponential growth, and so have I. And there's definitely been times where things have happened within the business where you've been an absolute rock for it because you're also going through it. You know, and as the businesses go from strength to strength, you know, it's not just been a client relationship, but a business relationship. It's been a friendship, like a real friendship, you know, which massively excited to see your growth. Just probably as much excitement you've seen in mine's. But, you know, it's been pivotal, you know, like through the whole process, you know, like from meeting people like-minded, which I didn't obviously have before, and how much knowledge and stuff that you bring to the table, even though you're in a completely different industry. We still suffer the same problems, you know, whether it be you sorting out processes and stuff within your business. I can take a lot of that instruction and bring it and adapt it to fit in with mine. You know, you were one of the first people that I'd ever heard about talking about customer experience through the full process of the business. That rang so true with me. Bringing that into the business, like the customer experience, the full customer experience from the minute that you make contact to the very end product, it's quite a lengthy process. You know, there's so many different pitfalls in there that have to be sharpened up. And you know, that you were one of the first people I'd ever heard talk about that. You've obviously been instrumental in helping me apply a lot of it. You know, a lot of the like website and the quoting system, which is elegant, by the way, like, you know, in the way that it's structured, the questions that are asked, and the way that it's put forward to the customer, it's very easy and acceptable for the customer to read through. That's a massive part of the business. It was a massive part of my growth in my business. You know, the website is exceptional. It's very easy to follow, and it's far superior to any other websites that I know of anybody been in the industry. You know, I know companies that are doing 8-9 figures that don't even have as good a website as we do. You know, and that's part and parcel of how We Build Trades, and that's been instrumental within my business. You know, the processes, but the whole infrastructure, the full framework of the friendship, and met up with a lot of the other guys, you know, the plumbing guys, you know, the heating guys, and having a talk with them over the full day was exceptional. It was amazing. You know, I speak to a lot of these guys on the phone, but seeing them face to face and the things that you can kind of talk about and you can get onto throughout the day when it's face to face. It's like these guys, I would never have met these guys. Absolutely no chance. I mean, these guys live hours and hours and hours away from where I live. You know, they you know, in different circles of people. You know, I would never have met any of them, you know, if it wasn't for yourself and We Build Trades. It's been a massive, massive difference to us.
No, Really appreciate that. And it's funny because you say that although we are in different industries, we've learned a lot at the same time, and we've kind of saw each other grow. And we invested heavily in our new TradesGang software, as you know. And we're both using that. So even though you're in the plumbing and heating industry, we're a marketing agency and software company. We're both using the same software. So how have you found the whole TradesGang?
TradesGang app is, even from the start when you don't actually know your way around about it, because it's labelled so well, it's very easy to communicate with the app. But also the way that it's actually set out, it's very easy to see the leads coming in, they move down the process, so you can keep track of who you've spoken to, who you haven't, who's to be quoted, who's became a new customer, how far along that process are they. We have like maybe about 350 customers came onto the app, and we have them all going along at various different points, you know, but it keeps us sharp on who we're talking to, what we're talking to them about. We're not phoning up customers 2 and 3 times with the same expectation to be talking to them about a quote when they've already had one. And, you know, so all of this is, you know, it's crucial. It's imperative that, you know, something like that type of software, how easy it makes the business function. You know, it's so easy for the salespeople and all that to follow. But as you said, like, customers coming in to the business is the same with any business. You've obviously created something that makes it so much easier to handle. Volume of customers coming in is difficult to keep track of. You've created something that's elegant in the way that it actually handles it.
Thank you.
That's great.
And for anyone who is watching this, because we talk about this all the time, and we're obviously going through it, we're living this journey, but for someone starting out, how important do you think it is for a tradesperson to have that partner, have that network, have that team around them who can offer them the support when it comes to marketing, recruitment, operations, sales? How big of a part's that played for you?
It's been a massive part. Ran a business for so long thinking that was the way it should have been, and that until you actually meet people that aren't like-minded that way, and you start to come over to the light and leave the dark behind, and you start to speak to like people who've got mindsets like your own, all the different trades people have got on the chat. You start to talk to all these people and you realise, what the hell have I been doing for all these years? Why was I stuck in that place? Whatever possessed me to stay in that place? Yeah. You know, and then you eventually leave and you go forward, venture into the new, and you start to listen to certain things and apply them. Jesus, that works. Oh my God, that works as well. This is actually pretty good. Let's see how far this will take me. You know, you start to really invest yourself in it. All the infrastructure and of every step along the way, you know, you're able to touch base with either yourself or, you know, one of the team. They'll give you that wee nudge in the right direction. They might not be able to tell you all the answers, but then again, do you really want all the answers? You want to find them on your own. But the nudge in the right direction, and you go off on a tangent, and you find out, wow, I can't believe this is happening.
Rabbit hole's deep. You were saying this earlier, and it's interesting because we've got the team behind the cameras, and part of stepping out of that comfort zone is doing this type of thing. We've obviously got a video shoot and whatnot. So, Steve, thank you for this. It's been great speaking to you actually officially, and I'm really looking forward to the future.
Me too.
So there you have it. What an epic interview with Stephen Dunn, the owner of Origin GmbH. It's honestly been a pleasure watching his growth, watching the company's development, and then being able to capture that story on camera for everyone to see. And this is just the beginning. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot more of this type of content. And if you are serious again about taking your business to that next level, and you're looking for some honest marketing advice from a company that genuinely cares and can partner with you to help you achieve that scale, then head to webuildtrades.com. There's a ton of information on there that will help you understand more about the business. And to get started, watch our free 17-minute demo video at webuildtrades.com/demo. And that will give you the information you need on what a partnership with us would look like. So take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.